Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to the Lion's Den in Prince George, British Columbia. We are all ready. We've been talking about it and smoking some crack. Okay, we didn't smoke any crack, but we've been setting up, we've been getting busy and getting ready for weeks, and we are all ready to turn the clock back 112 years. No, 108 years. We're starting in 1912, and we're going to refight the Great War, including the Russian Revolution at the end of it. I will be Germany. Panzer King is going to be Austria and the Ottoman Empire. And Jinx is going to be... Who the hell are you going to be? He's France and Russia. And Ben is going to be Great Britain and America. And then we don't know who's going to play China and Japan and Italy, because those nations haven't entered the war. We don't know what side they're going to be on. We're going to start in the prequel in 1912. So like here you have the first Balkan Wars set up, and over here we have the Mexican Revolution that's set up, and there's going to be a war between the Ottomans and the Italians. What was the fourth war? I think that's it. I think it's because there's 2 Balkan Wars. There's 4 wars to play in the prequel anyway. So we're just going to get to it, and you'll see how things go as we move along. Okay, to kick things off now, take a look here. We've got all these cards here, and we've got them all separated out and everything. And what they represent is all the turns in the game, including down here we got the Russian Civil War. But these two stacks here are for the prequel. And well, not just but just 1912, sorry. So the one is east and one is west. What we're going to do is at the start of the turn, before Germany even goes, you draw 1 card from each pile. I've already shuffled them, so you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
This is what's going to happen. So on the east, Fang Zhilong, place an attacking neutral infantry in Cochin, China. Resolve combat immediately. So grab a white thing over there, white dude, and put him in Cochin, China. And then the west, Turkoman revolt, placing attacking and Ottoman infantry in Mangistau. Resolve combat immediately. Okay, so grab an Ottoman infantry right there. And I don't even know where that place is.
What's it called again?
Turkmenistan or Turkoman?
Mangistau.
Is it,
So we're just looking for that territory.
Is it Ottoman territory? Or who's
No,
this
you
part?
place an Ottoman there and then have a battle. So
Oh, okay.
Armenia.
There's Turkmenistan. That's something close.
okay, I'm going to let those guys do that, and I'm going to take the German turn. So the Germans are going to lend-lease this dude here. They're going to lend-lease to whatever these forces are here that are in the Mexican Revolution. The other thing they're going to do, they're going to spend 1 IPP, and they're going to grab some dice here. They're going to try to influence.
Oh, in Mangistau.
So here, these, I'm probably going to choose one of these ones because they're already started up the Germany ladder there, right? But take a quick look here. Yeah, I think I'll try, I'm going to go for Chile. So I need to roll a 1 to 3. So here we go. That's a 10, so I failed there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try, I'm going to spend 2. Actually, no, you don't spend money for these rolls. How many factories do I have? 1, 2, just 2. 2 major factories. So I get 2 rolls on the chart here. I'm going to try wartime economy first, so I need an 8 or more. That's a 4, that's a miss. And I'm going to try improved recruitment here. That's an 8 or more, and so that's a miss. So that hasn't been very successful. Anyway, so that's where we are. That's the start of it. Now I'm going to go and move my pieces around and do my rolling. All right, so we're through spring of 1912, and that only took about 16 hours. Okay, it was only an hour or two, but we're just trying to learn the rules. Things go a lot faster now, and the prequel really doesn't take that long because you can't attack each other anyway, and it's mostly just the minor wars that you're prosecuting. So here we go. We got to draw an east and a west card again for the prequel. The first card is, holy crap, Balkan Conference Breakdown. The Berlin West Africa Conference of 1885, which settles the dispute among rival powers in Africa, falls apart over river rights and colonial built holdings. Each side adds 8 IPP worth of units to Africa in this order: Germany, Britain, Ottoman, France. They don't cost double. Like in the prequel here, your land units cost double unless you're land leasing them. So that's cool. Add to neutral setups: Belgian infantry to Belgian Congo, Portuguese infantry to Portuguese East Africa. And then Spain tells Spanish Sahara, or sells Spanish Sahara to Austria-Hungary for 4 IPP. Place an Austria-Hungarian roundel cavalry and torpedo boat destroyer. There you go, Spanish Sahara. So you can do that. So there's that one.
Do I have to pay 4 IPP for it? Or is it just...
Yes, you would, yep. So the other one, the east card, Chinese naval expansion. China attempted to expand by building naval units from Britain, Germany, China was unable to purchase them due to internal fiscal failures. Each of these players rolls a d6 and distributes accordingly. So a 1 to 4, you add a torpedo boat destroyer to their own navy. 5, add a cruiser to their navy, and 6, add a torpedo boat destroyer to Greece.
Nice.
So who's there? Germany. So I'll go, my German guy. Okay. 12. Oh, sorry, got a d6. Got me a d6, okay. Yeah, I did 2 6s.
Yeah.
Germany's got it, or Greece has got a huge navy now. So let's just try this again. 5. So I add a cruiser. That's nice. Who's next? US, Austria.
I gotta go on behalf of Ben.
4. So he gets a torpedo boat destroyer.
Okay, next.
Austria-Hungary. Go ahead, James. 1. So you get a torpedo boat destroyer. France.
3. Torpedo boat destroyer. And next is China. Oh,
No, China was
doesn't
unable
get-
to purchase them. Okay,
So
so that's
cruiser.
all that happens. And then, so what we'll do is we'll put all these things on. I'll just show you what I'm going to
Oh,
do
we
here.
forgot Britain up here.
Oh, Britain, yeah, go ahead. So they get a torpedo boat destroyer.
Yeah.
So everybody gets a torpedo boat destroyer except for the Germans. They get a cruiser.
And,
Okay, so diplomacy now.
And who got the? Didn't nobody rolled a 6? Okay.
No, nobody. I rolled 2 6s with the D12. So I'm going to do the expansion now. For $1 each, I can do this. So I'm going to go for Argentina first. I need a 1 to 3. I got it, right on. So now actually you don't collect this +1 IPP in trade during the prequel era. And then I'm going to go for Chile here. 6. That's, oh, you know what? I did it wrong. Damn it. I used the D6. Okay, let's try that again. So I put it back down. Okay, need a 1 to 3. Got it. Okay, so Argentina did get there. So now Chile. 12. Okay. So I was successful on one, but not the other. Let's just go over to. Let's go over to the technology board now. I get 2 rolls for technology. Now you can't go beyond stage 2 in the prequel. So let's try wartime economy here. I need an 8. That's a miss. And let's go to defense in depth up here. So I need a 7 for that. And I got a 4, so I missed there. Okay, there you go. Now I'm gonna go spend my money. I just want to show you the start of the turn, just to show you what's going on. There's not much to show you over here. Russia moved their stuff up. Germany didn't move a goddamn thing. They couldn't figure out why they would, because nobody could attack them, nobody could do anything. The Italians
Then I'm assuming.
in the Italian Ottomans war there. The Italians drew first blood. The Ottomans didn't do anything because they're a bunch of sissies. But the Italians came down here for an amphibious assault. You can only do 3 rounds of combat, so that's why the artillery is back on the transport here, because that camel is tougher than shit over there. And over here, there's a couple of Americans left. It's hard to see because the color is pretty close, but mostly Germans left, only 2 Americans, and so that's what's going on in Mexico. And the Balkan Wars have not started yet. They're not until, I think, next turn they're going to start. But there's just a few units that have moved from the opening setup. Not very much at all. We'll be back. Okay, now we're into the fall-winter of 1912. So we're going to draw the card. 1 card out of each of these 2 piles. And we have a typhus. War increases the risk of disease. Typhus breaks out in the Balkans. Each major power with units at war in the Balkans must either pay 1 IPP to improve medical practices or remove an infantry unit. Each minor power removes an infantry unit unless a controlling major power also pays for them. Okay, so that's a thing. The Balkan Wars are going to start this turn. The Soke's Rebellion. So they rebel against forced public labor in the Eastern Caroline Islands. Place an attacking neutral militia in the German Caroline Islands and resolve combat immediately. Okay, so those are the 2 things that we have to do this turn. Let's just show you the board here. So you can see this is missing now, the Mexican Revolutionary War. The German controlled forces won that. So it's not aligned to Germany because they're not at war, but they're controlling them. That's why I put both the Mexican and German roundel on the board over there. And we did take the Mexican, we figured, okay, that must mean that Germany gets Mexico over here because the diplomacy for Mexico must be over then, right? And that happened, and everybody put the 8 units, $8 worth of units down in Africa, so that beefed things up quite a bit down here. You see Panzer King there, he just loves his humps.
They're sexy.
And the Italians, they got their recruitment rolls, so they put a dude down over in Rome there. Just minor moving around, right? There's really not much happening. Japan is easily getting its recruitment roll because they have 11 territories, so all they need to do is avoid a 12. So this war here is going to start this turn. Anyway, I'm going to let you go and start my turn. Okay, so the lighting's a little different now. We got the big doors open. So that's over, and not much has happened again. But we'll show you what's going on now that we got a different deck of cards because we're into 1913. So China melts down. Southern provinces declare their independence from Beijing government and civil war erupts. Nanking, Kweichow, Guangxi, Shantung, and Hunan are now the only land zones that constitute China. The rest are neutral. The neutrals will not participate in the war. If any neutral Chinese land zone is attacked, all neutral land zones align with China.
Wow.
So that's different. It's a good thing you knew that before you took them with the British, eh? And Balkan War continues. If either the first or second Balkan War would end this turn, it continues for an additional turn. So this is something that I read in the rules. If we all agree that we can't use this card, which we can't because that war's not going to end this turn, then we choose another card.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this card can't be used. Oh, wait a minute. If either the first or second would end this turn, it continues for an additional turn. If the second Balkan War has not yet started, start the war this turn. So we can use this card. All of a sudden, the second Balkan War starts, and you just lost the Bulgarians
Yeah, that's okay. Ouch.
to the Austrians. So here, let me just show you what that looks like here.
Okay.
So these guys were Russian, right? The Bulgarians were controlled by Russia in the first Balkan War. In the second Balkan War, the Bulgarians are controlled by the Austrians. So this card really means something then, because he doesn't get a chance to take these and wipe out the Ottomans with them. Now all of a sudden they are Austrians, so that's really interesting. Alrighty. And what else happened in this turn of note? The Italians came down here with a bunch of stuff, and Panzer King diced him. He hit him 4 times in the first round. So their plane that was amphibiously assaulting didn't get off the transport yet even. So it's still stuck on the transport. And the Italians are pretty weak down there now. I think the war's ended now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the end of the war. They can't attack each other anymore. He was going for one final stab at him, and that did not work. And China, we're gonna have to redo China now because of that last card. I don't think anything else happened of note, did it, guys?
Nope.
Just that Italian. Yeah, there's not much attacks. Just over here, like the British took a territory, and the Russian Bulgarians took this territory. So that's all that happened there. There was just one turn of the first Balkan War. Now we're going right into the second Balkan War. All right then. So we finished that turn. Going faster now because we're getting our legs under us, and we have to ask 14 times a turn. What am I doing? So we used the same deck we did last time. Flip a card over. Fang Jik Slong. Don't know what that means. Place an attacking neutral infantry in Cochin, China. Resolve combat immediately. So we've already done that, but we're going to do it again. That French guy is embattled. He's unbattled. And Turkoman Revolt. Place an attacking Ottoman infantry in Maggie. Oh, resolve combat. Okay, we've done that. And
we've done both of them. But I guess it's a different deck, so technically.
Actually, better make sure we didn't put them back on this. Okay, Africa at war. World War I launches in Africa. Britain, France, Russia are at war with Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Ottoman Empire, but only in Africa. Ships may attack each other, but only adjacent to Africa. Units may attack African land zones only, and units may enter Africa. Units may not attack land zones from Africa. Any power that has influenced Belgium, Portugal, or Spain at level 2 may use forces in Africa. Militia purchased or upgraded in Africa can be done at a regular cost. Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So we got those two things. And the Balkan War is over because the second Balkan War only lasts one. So when we pulled that last card last turn where it said, skip to the second Balkan War, what's happened now is we've got 3 turns in the prequel and no wars to prosecute. Like the revolutionary thing in Mexico's done, Balkan War is done, the Italian-Ottoman War is done, and the first Balkan War obviously is done. So basically it's just 3 turns of moving stuff around. I'll show you what China looks like now. You can see we just used the warlord roundos to be the neutrals on there, and the Chinese roundos. We had to have a big discussion though. Are we going to say that China was hoodwinked, or were they rat fucked? I think we decided to go with rat fucked, so there's that. So now we're going to have a war down here. This is starting this turn. So we will be at war in Africa for the rest of the game, but not anywhere else. At least not yet. We'll see what the cards say. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer to war. It's going a little bit quicker because there's no wars to fight, except for the one in Africa. That actually was a bit of fun here. I'll just show you what happened before we look at the cards there. So the Germans took this spot. The French failed to take this one and to take that one. The French tried that guy and that guy. They lost them both. So Germany was the big winner here. They actually took out 3 units here. In one turn, they hit them all. The Austrians, they came down and tried to fight the British Navy because they were adjacent to Africa, and they just got their asses kicked. So they retreated away from Africa because then nobody could attack them, right? But anyway, not a good turn for them. So let's do the cards here, one of each. And Soke's rebellion, revolt against forced public labor in Eastern Carolina Islands, placed an attacking militia.
Yeah, it's already done.
Did we?
We did that in 1912, but I don't feel like doing it again.
Okay.
We tried to.
Balkan Powder Keg 1. Italy is an allied country and Austria-Hungary is a central power, may both send their land units to fight on the Balkan minimap. They are not at war. Italy and Austro-Hungarian units cannot fight outside the Balkan minimap. Okay, so we'll take a look at that.
So
So
does that
we're
reopen
pulling
the-
a different one of this one, eh?
I'd say.
Operations Plan 3. German influence spreads into the Caribbean. I like that. Align Cuba to Germany and place one raiding cruiser in port.
Oh, nice.
Give Germany a free influence role in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. I, as the German player, approve this message. So, yeah, I don't think there's much to show you. Like, I could show you that, but does it really mean anything to you? I showed you Africa there. So nothing else happened other than Africa, unless you want to know where he put his observation balloon, which isn't a big deal. We'll show more of the game once we're playing the game. This is really just the setup to the game. So we'll be back. So after discussing it, we didn't like this one with the Balkan Powder Keg because we've already taken all the units off and resolved all that and everything. That war's over. We think that this card should say, if the Balkan War is still going on, then do that. Because then it makes sense. Like, nobody really wants to go backwards right now and refight that war. And nobody is controlling the Italians right now. So they'd have to take control and they'd have to move them on. Anyway, so we picked a different card. We like this one. Nations prepare for war. Land units no longer cost double. Like our land units were costing double, like it's $6 for a dude. Nobody bought anything, right? Research and diplomacy can be conducted past stage 2. So as you see here, like everybody's only gone to stage 2, right? And the same with the technology. Things have only gone to stage 2. So we're gonna do that now because that makes sense anyway. We're ramping up to war. We've got 2 turns left and we're gonna use that card. So here we go. Okay, so we've only got 1 turn left and then First World War is gonna break out. Franz Ferdinand is not long for this world. Poor buddy. Okay, so a lot of changes happening down in Africa here because that's the only place we're allowed to attack, right? So you can see the round, like I don't even remember, like that guy attacked there, that guy attacked there. France took out a couple of German territories there, the bastard. I mean, nice job, Joey. That's about it down here. The Austrian fleet went back, so he's going to repair that dreadnought. He's licking his wounds there. And that's all that's happened. That's completely all that's happened. So, our last kick with these cards here. Here, let's just shuffle them up a bit. Okay, that one. Alrighty. Philippines. Place an attacking neutral infantry in the Philippines. Resolve combat immediately. And the west card is, holy shit, Balkan Powder Keg 2. These all end okay. Holy shit. I mean, darn. Golly gee whiz, Batman.
Yeah, this one's got some more interesting things. Maybe they're supposed to have this Balkan Powder Keg go off even if the Balkan Wars are done.
So, yeah, I think that
Because right at the end,
the Balkan War is done. Let's get rid of that one too.
at the bottom it says roll a G6 for Italy on a 1. Join the
British-Italian
Allies.
rivalry. I like that one. Holy
You're
crap.
just choosing the ones that don't work out for you, eh? Wow.
No, it's that one has nothing to do with me anyway. So, Italian expansion in the Mediterranean and private Italian banking interests threaten British dominance in northern Africa. Britain must choose one of the following. Concede to Italian demands. Britain pays 1 IPP to the bank per turn until summer 14, so that's just this turn, and place a railroad on the Tripoli-Kufra border. Or, number 2, challenge Italy. Britain must pay 1 IPP and places an attacking neutral militia in Kufra. Italy must pay 1 IPP to this turn to place an attacking neutral militia in Egypt. If either wins, Kufra or Egypt becomes a non-sovereign neutral. Anyone may attack it. Central Powers add +1 to their roll when they roll for Italian alignment. So that's the second choice. The third choice, limited war with Italy. Italy and Britain are at war for 1 turn. Central Powers gain +2 influence roll for Italy, and alignment is first rolled as soon as Germany and Britain go to war with each other. So which one do you want?
Option 1, cost $1 for 1 turn.
Britain pays 1 to place a railroad. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. He's going to concede to Italian demands like the sucker that he is. Britain pays 1 IPP to the bank per turn until summer 1914 and place a railroad in the Tripoli-Kufra border. You got a railroad there? So.
I think Kufra no longer exists, so it's this one here.
Okay. That must be it.
That is, yeah, that's what it used to be called previously.
Okay. Yeah, because the names have changed. We need to change the cards. I'll make a note of that. Alrighty then. So let's get to that last. Oh, yeah. Let's get to that last turn. Okay. So as you can see here, we are in the summer of 1914. I like this thing because it tells you, the special events that are supposed to happen that turn. Like, remember we were drawing one random event card from each pile. Now we draw 2 random event cards, 2 from the east, 2 from the west. We begin global 1914, so the war begins, and the British alliance choice. So Britain's either going to choose to align the Chinese or the Japanese. China will align automatically if they choose that. Japan, there's a recruitment rule. So here, I'll just show you that here. So here, 1 to 2, Japan joins Central Powers and aligns to Austria-Hungary. 3 to 6, Japan remains neutral. Or 7 to 12, Japan joins allies and aligns France. Now that might be a tough choice because, China's guaranteed. But remember what happened with China there? They got rat fucked, right? So, it's like if it was me, I'd pick Japan. But it's up to the British player, right? So anyway, let's go take a look at the. Now we're into another deck now. We're done with the prequel cards. These cards here are just for this turn. So I think there's 8 in each pile and you get 2 of them. 2 out of the 8. So let's go. Let's see what's going on here. I hate it when there's like a million things written on here. Okay, so Russian mobilization.
Yes.
Germany and Russia each roll a d6. The highest chooses one of the following. Willy Nicky telegrams. A flurry of telegrams between the Kaiser and Tsar comprise a series of 10 messages lead the Tsar to cancel Russian mobilizations. Move 4 total Russian infantry from land zones adjacent to German starting territories and place them on the place units box. So that's basically like that. So Germany would choose that one probably, right? And then there's Samsonov's haste. General Alexander Samsonov is given command of the Russian Second Army for the invasion of East Prussia and rapidly mobilizes troops for the front. Add a free Russian infantry to any Russian starting zone adjacent to Germany. So
Let's roll for that now on camera.
let's do it. Yep.
You want to go first?
So yeah, I'll just go. So this is the German roll. 4.
Okay.
And you got a 1 no.
3.
3.
You win. Okay.
Okay. Oh geez. Well, which one should I pick? Okay, and we're gonna pick the Willy Nicky telegrams. So okay. So we're picking that one. Okay, now we need a second one from that pile. The Greek-Turkish conflict. Simmering hostilities from the Balkan War ignite over the Greek seizure of Crete. The Ottoman Empire is able to declare war immediately, and Greece joins the Allies. So I'm thinking if you don't join immediately, then they don't join the Allies. What do you think?
Do you want to join immediately?
Sorry, what?
Like the Ottomans?
You got the choice of joining the war immediately.
And if you do, then the Greeks join the Allies.
But if I don't, the Greeks stay neutral?
I think so.
Because that's a lot of Navy there right now.
Yeah.
I'm almost hesitant not to.
That's something that we should clarify later on too, but yeah.
Okay. So let's pick 2 cards from this pile now. Germans militarize Far East. Germany anticipates Japanese and British designs on German Pacific holdings. Add 1 militia to each German island in the Pacific and Shandong. Add 1 German seaplane in Kaiser Wilhelm Land. Okay, I can do that. Wait till after I'm not on camera. And information control. Britain cuts 5 German overseas underwater cables, effectively severing all German information. British control over war news increases U.S. peacetime income by 3. There you go, that helps you.
Yeah.
The Americans start at 0 right now. So they've got to reach 37 before they can enter the war, so that helps, right? So there we go. That's that. And, well, you're here. Let's just leave you here. I got 2 rolls and I paid 4, so let's go for Argentina. And that's a miss. And let's go for Spain. That's a hit. So Spain is 1 more and I've aligned Spain. Good. So, and let's go to the technology over there.
Spain or Persia?
What?
I think you moved Persia instead of Spain.
What?
I think you moved Persia instead of Spain.
Oh, did I?
Spain is this yellow and red one.
Oh shit. Okay, this is the one.
This is the one you moved probably. Persia. That's Mexico. This
Right.
is Persia. So you just move this one up to here.
Hmm.
Unless you wanted to do Persia.
No, Spain is fine. I'll just
Okay.
move because I said Spain. I'll move.
You get
Spain.
$1 for being in that ring anyway, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's that, and then I got my technology rolls. So I'm going to go. Let's go with the wartime economy there. Missed. And let's go with. Ooh. Let's go with defense in depth. So defense in depth means in order to form a trench line, you only need 4 infantry instead of 6, and that's a big deal because then you limit the other guys. So I missed that anyway. But you limit the other guy's ability, like if there's a trench, you can only have 1 round of combat. But with defense in depth, then you only need 4 infantry instead of 6, and that it makes it a lot easier, a lot more defensive for you to do that. So let's take a look over here. Now, the reserves that we held. Took a while to wrap my head around that, but only if you play the prequel you get the reserves, and Germany happened to have, holy crap, that many? I thought it was 8. I'll have to relook at that. Anyway, so they get those reserves to put on. Plus I bought 4 infantry, 1 colonial troop, 1 militia, and 3 artillery. And so I've got all that stuff to put on, but you got to remember, like the mound power symbols here. So like here, I can only put 2 dudes on. Here, I can only put 1 dude on, right? So you gotta look at that before you go out and buy 30 infantry, right? Like if you can't put them all on, then you can't buy them, right? Well, I mean, you could always buy them and wait, but what good's that going to do you, right? So there's that. Another thing, while I have you here, I'm going to show you something I'm going to do. Where is it there? I need to grab a couple of markers, and I need to grab another cruiser. So I'll just do this right now while I got you on camera here. Let's move. Let's move the cruiser up to. I'm wondering what line I can go to. Actually, I could go over here, couldn't I? So let's go over here with the cruiser. Now, what you can do, instead, you can have a cruiser, or you can have 2 raiders. You can substitute a cruiser for 2 raiders. So what you do is you put a cruiser on top of that one, cruiser on top of that one. Now, all they can do is raid convoys. They can't act as a normal cruiser, right? And their stats are less now for raiding the convoys, but they kind of work like subs, you know what I mean? Except for they're not subs. I mean, they don't have all the attributes and everything. They're just raiders. And then at some point in time, you can merge those 2 together again and form 1 cruiser. So that's up to the German player's discretion. Anyway, so war has begun here. See you in a bit. Okay, so that was pretty exciting. That was the first round of the war. And one of the things that happens is the British decide on the very first turn of the war, of their first turn, that they're going to either take China or Japan. I think I mentioned that earlier. So because China has been decimated, they chose Japan. Now China is an automatic entry into the war. They get it, no problem. It just, you request it, they join, and then they're in the war. Japan is a different story. Japan, like if you roll a 1 or a 2, then it goes to the Central Powers. If you roll a 3 to, I don't know, 6, I think it is, they stay neutral, and then you keep rolling after that to see which way they go. And then a 7-12, they joined the British and the Allies, and are run by the French. So it's likely that that's going to happen, right? Except if you let Jinx roll for it and he rolls a 2. So Japan has joined the Central Powers. Long story short, that's the biggest thing that happened in the first turn. We got this guy took this. You know, there's not much that happened, right? Because we're all just getting our bearings. There's been some exciting, some big battles over there, but only a round worth, right? Because you're fighting against trench lines, so it's only for a round. If there's still a trench, if you're still 6 defending infantry, then you can only attack once. Unless, you know, there's some things that could happen, some weapons, tank, you know, and hurricane bombardment, things like that that can extend it. But for the most part, it's just 1 round of combat when you have a trench. And so, even though there was some big attacks and so lots of units lost, it doesn't look like anything has happened. We expect that the Allied navies will take over eventually. Like you can see, the Ottoman has a very small fleet. The Austrians have a small fleet. Germany's got a big fleet. But then when you start adding up all the boats from around, you know, except I guess Japan's on our side now too. Thanks, buddy. So anyway, let's get to the random events of this turn. I've already shuffled the cards, and there's 2 from each, 2 east, 2 west. So let's start here. Mesopotamia. British anticipate war with the Ottoman Empire and secure their Middle East holdings. Place 1 militia in Kuwait, Aden, and Oman. You got that? And what else? New alliances. Each nation, in turn order, including the US, moves a neutral roundel in their favor for 3 separate minor powers. Nations may move any neutral roundels, including those moved by a previous nation. So just 1 neutral roundel, I guess, eh?
Each nation does it, so it's...
For 3 separate. Okay, so we'll put that over by the diplomacy chart. That's something we'll take care of right away after this. Assyr revolt. So Isridid, that word right there, you can read it. Emirate of Assyr revolts against Ottoman rule. Place 2 free attacking British infantry in Assyr. Look at the Brits. They're just taking over the Middle East. East, okay, here. So, last one, blacklists. The Allies introduced blacklists to enforce the boycott of trading with German or German companies in neutral countries. On the diplomacy chart, Germany may reduce any 2 Allied diplomacy markers 1 space. So I'm guessing that happens after the other thing since I drew it second, right? So a lot's going to happen on the diplomacy board here. Basically, each of us gets to move 3 markers, 1 space each. Like you can move them up or down or sideways or whatever. So we'll get to that. And I think that's it. I think I'll show you the board while we're in the middle, because I go first and then I sit there for like an hour waiting for everybody else to go. So I'll take some video. I know that you haven't been seeing much other than the cards, so I'll get some video of some game action this turn, okay? We'll be back. Okay, so those guys are battling over there. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. So each nation is going to have one of these sheets. I made these sheets up last night, or yeah, I think it was last night. So that's all the units that you could possibly put on the board, right? And trying to get a count of how many there are. So 1914, there's a couple of turns. So, you know, rather than doing every single turn, there's like 18 turns or something. I don't know. There's a lot of turns. I didn't want to record every turn because we wanted to play the game as well, right? So just, you know, in 1914, how many things do you have? Like I look right now and see how many I had, and I thought, oh, you know what? I had another militia in the turn before, so I'll add a militia. So it'll be 2 instead of 1. You know what I mean? But these are like I've got more than 6 infantry on the board. It's just what we're doing is we're using all chips, right? Like so 1 infantry and 10 chips underneath it for 11 infantry, right? Just to see how many sculpts you need. So 6 infantry, 6 different places here. I'll show you what I mean.
I'm down for you.
So on the blow up map here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 down in Africa makes 6 for infantry sculpts. But boats I don't like to use chips. So like there's 4 dreadnoughts, you know, and 4 pre-dreadnoughts.
Like over there in Yemen.
A couple of subs and coastal sub.
The Hijaz if you wanted to.
A couple of cruisers. And only 1 transport. So, and you know, like 3 fighters, 2 seaplanes, a couple of observation balloons, a zeppelin.
I guess these guys can't.
You know, and then count up the artillery. So 1, 2, 3, and there's 1 down there. That's 4 artillery. So even though Germany's got a lot of stuff, it doesn't look like it when you look at the numbers here. But the only numbers I'm interested in is the sculpts. I don't want to know how many chips there are because you know, like that's. We're trying to put together a list of what you would do to put together the game. So I'm playing Germany and Japan. So Japan, of course, has a little bit less stuff, right? So anyway, I've got all the guys doing that for all the nations. I want to show you this thing. So I just got trench fighters here. A trench fighter is basically offense. It costs the same as an infantry, but it's attack 2, defense 2, and rather than 2 and 4. But the thing about the trench fighter is he's got first strike and he target selection if he hits. So target selection are on a 1 or a 2, right? So that makes him more offensive than defensive, like defensive of regular infantry. But the only sculpt I have for the trench fighters, because I just heard about them, you know, when I got my stuff here, is the German ones, and I got this one a year ago. Let me just show you this guy. It's really cool. He's got the little gas mask on. So that's what my trench fighter is. He's a stormtrooper. Like I've got a stormtrooper chip, right?
Yeah.
There we go. And so I'm gonna have to get sculpts for the rest of the nations for this. So let's just walk around and look at what's going on here. Who are the British attacking now? Me?
No, I'm doing a convoy escort duty.
Oh, okay. So the convoying in this game is pretty much exactly like the new rules.
Then he'll
for
just slide
36.
through one of these.
It's just slightly different. You'll find like the submarines are +1 instead of +2. But I mean, submarines weren't as good back then, right? So of course they're not as good as the World War II, the U-boats, right? Let me just adjust this thing so it says properly. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, that's it's better. So yeah, things are building up here on the Western Front. Has France gone this turn yet?
Not yet.
No. So as you can see, there's just a ton of stuff there building up on that side. I've actually done the attacks on this side. One of the things that you have to do is you have to make a mandatory attack. The British, the French, and the Germans have to make an attack over here once per calendar year. So it takes 3 turns for a calendar year. Or they don't get, what is it, a free diplomacy roll?
They don't get to do any diplomacy.
No, they don't get to do any diplomacy, that's right. So you really do want to make that mandatory attack so that you can still do the diplomacy, right? I guess the last time we had you here, the diplomacy was going on and we all got to move things 3 places and then another card showed up. So it's none of us got there because, you know, like you'd move you'd move 3 up, and then the next guy come along and move them down. Or the next guy move them up, next guy move them down, up, down, up, down. So really, it looks the same as it did before. Probably not even as good. Oh, I forgot this. I need to. I get $3 extra. I was wondering why Germany didn't have as much money as last turn. So I should get $3 for this trade for having these things here. Anyway.
It also has
Let's look over here.
a wartime bonus if Portugal is on stage 2.
So he wants to try to protect his convoys now because, like you see here, they took $3 off the British this turn when Germany went. Say hi, Jinx.
Hi.
You want to show anybody anything?
I don't know.
Show them what you got.
Well,
Look at
submarines are pretty interesting now in this game because, well, in 36 as well too, and I quite like the change.
Yeah.
They make it pretty difficult to attack or to capture, and it makes that game a little bit more intricate.
Yeah.
Like in this circumstance, if Ben is protecting this area, there's nothing stopping the submarine from just going here and continuing convoy raiding and moving along as this, because as long as there's no aircraft present, this guy can keep on going. So we're wondering how it would work out without aircraft carriers in this game, because for maritime patrol you could only move one sea zone. So theoretically this sub could stay here the whole game, and those seaplanes, I mean, they might be able to move 2, but if there's
seaplanes.
so they can move 2. Okay, but there might be some places in mid-Pacific where they're so far away from any islands that they might be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, we found it was a little bit difficult, but you kind of had to learn. Like I think the last game of 36, the British player had, between them and Canada, had 5 or 6 seaplanes. That's how you run them down. That and a few carriers, but of course there's no carriers in this game, right? So, you know, there's going to be an adjustment. We'll have to figure out how to get around that. Anyway, so that's Africa. What are you attacking now?
That's it.
That's it? So whose turn is it? Austria's. Right?
Yeah, whoa.
He thinks he's German.
Well, I am partially German. With the Austrians. Okay.
So which one of these is Hitler? He was Austrian. He got gassed.
I'm gonna roll for my wartime income.
Okay.
11.
11. Holy.
Shouldn't it be the 6-sided dice?
Yeah, that's right. 2 6-sided dice. I was thinking that's a lot. 2 6-sided dice.
I'm sorry, that's sorry.
12. No.
Yeah, 12, exactly.
So 5, yeah. Yeah, usually you don't get 11. You could, but I mean, that's an extraordinary roll. And he's just moving doing the combat moves right now?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just like the other game. Like all the turns are the same, right? You got your purchase units phase, and then you got your combat movement, and then you got your combat, and then your non-combat movement, and then your place units and collect income phase. And you know, there's a few things that are different with the mechanics, slightly different. And you know, like diplomacy is the big difference, right? Like diplomacy is completely different in this game than it is in 36. So that's what it took. Like we're almost we've had dinner already, and we're just the second turn in the war. The prequel was 7 turns, and I think we all agreed that the prequel is a little bit too long. You know, I kind of what I'd like to see, because a calendar turn is 4 months, right? So there's three turns in a year. Maybe go to 2 turns a year just for the prequel, just so it doesn't last so long. Because we finished the mandatory battles that were there. There was 4 different things: the 2 Balkan Wars, the Mexican Revolutionary War, and the Italian Ottoman War. And so we had done those like long time ago because the cards sped us through it. You know, it made us go right from the first Balkan War all the way into the second Balkan War, 2 turns ahead of time. So there really wasn't much for us to do in the prequel. And your income is greatly reduced in the prequel, so it kind of went on too long for us for our tastes. But that's the kind of thing that we're looking for, right? And if it wasn't for the card that said that war breaks out in Africa, we really would have had nothing to do. But it was fun when we got to start attacking each other down in Africa anyway. So it got us into the game there. And what you doing, Panzer King?
Attacking.
You taking down names yet? Yeah, you helped me out with those Russians. Bunch of Cossacks. Scurvy dogs, I tell you. You want to tell us what you think of the game?
Balloons move artillery up 1, right?
Yeah.
Here, take that and show people what you want to show them. And tell them. Put your coffee down before you spill it.
Well, I'm thinking naval dominance is
Yeah.
priority number 1 for the Commonwealth.
Okay.
And
Whatever. We'll see what we got there.
it's mostly going to be
Okay. 2 attacks.
being pumped out of
So actually,
British Isles
hold on.
themselves.
No, it's still 2
And
attacks.
gonna have
So
to
where's
do
the
a
first one?
focus over here in the Indian
we
Ocean and the
got
Pacific Ocean.
Serbia.
Since the Japanese
Just one guy.
align
We follow
themselves
that
to the
guy.
enemy. So
India's really open
Sounds
there.
good.
He took
So,
everything out of
militia,
India and took it down to
artillery,
Africa. So
4.
I did build a factory
Five-
in this turn.
5
So
men.
did you?
5 men. So you're
You
rolling
have to build
ones,
fast.
except
yeah,
most divisions are rolling
yeah,
ones. Except
and that's about it for
the first
the
strike.
Commonwealth. The Americans aren't really doing much yet. So
yeah, they can't. They're still a long ways away. The Americans in this game are like
Yeah,
more like
so
the 36 game. In
And then,
that,
I get
you
bumped
know,
up
like
one,
you do
don't I,
something
with the
and their income goes up.
That's
You
okay.
do something else and their income goes
Okay,
up.
this guy.
And then, of
there
course,
he
they
goes.
got the recruitment roll every turn, except for instead of a D12,
Yeah, that's right,
it's
yeah.
a D6. Because their income doesn't need to go all the way up to 63, it only needs to go to, I believe it's 37.
Nothing.
Yeah, 37 they need to get to.
Round 2.
So like
Round
for
one.
when Japan joined
Okay, militia's gone.
the Central Powers, they got 6 IPP for that.
Mike,
And
What's
Chile,
the green?
or sorry,
Green's 5. This was
when
artillery.
Okay.
This was the no. I guess nothing.
Cuba aligned
Because that's
to
it's been
the Germans,
So,
that
wait,
gave
green is-
the Americans 3.
Green was the
And
man.
Mexico,
Contract
that was
guy.
2.
So round 2.
So, you know, like it just adds up until they get to
It's making
37.
us-
Then they can join the war if they want. They don't
Gotcha.
have to, right?
Yeah.
There's a few options
Right.
that the Americans can
So
do.
he's got
One of them is going to war on the side of the Allies. But we'll see what they do.
Ben,
there.
I don't remember if we boosted you up at all. 36, you start.
Take a
with-
look
I
at
think you're
the
at 36. Your wartime income is
Build chart
35.
here.
You've lost one.
Most of
You've
these are on
gained
stage
one,
3 right now.
Gained 2.
People are
lost
pretty
one.
interested in building
You've gained one.
ground units at this
So,
point. There's another dreadnought
91?
that
Okay. So
Ben
you should
just
be
put
at
down.
36,
And only
yeah.
one cruiser on stage 2, so
I
one
just
more
moved the Austrian
one
up, I
more
didn't
turn
move the
and
other
that,
one.
like $3 more and
Okay,
the
now
French
Russia.
have another cruiser,
Oh, you
right?
didn't move Russia down?
No, I didn't move Russia down at all.
Okay,
So.
Ben, can you bump Russia down one?
Yeah.
For now, anyways. Okay.
Yeah,
Next
with
round.
with China there.
So now the other
Well,
attack.
see all those
Yeah.
warlord
So the plane
rounds.
brings up the
So those are
Yeah.
right.
neutrals,
So you're at
right?
5.
And they
Now,
have
if anybody other than the Chinese attacks
Okay,
one of those
so
neutrals,
plane.
then they
Should we
will
just do
all
this?
align back with
Oh,
China
yeah,
again.
yeah, sorry, you're right.
But right now,
first-
I mean,
first strike?
they're just
So artillery,
neutrals, right?
infantry.
And China, like you don't do anything for China
So I don't
until
even get
they
to
enter.
respond because
In
you-
1917, you
Yeah.
start rolling to see who China
we go.
aligns with.
And that's worth 1. So Russia.
That
goes
would
down.
happen no matter whether Japan went to the Central Powers or to the Allies. He's still going to roll for China, just as you'd roll for Japan to see what happens there. Italy still hasn't done anything. Italy, they got a good navy and stuff, but we have no idea. It's weighted towards the Allies rolling, but we don't know yet who Italy's going to go to, and they're the orange guys down there, right? So they got some stuff down in Africa. They got a pretty decent navy for a tiny little country there. It looks so empty here in Europe because of the battle, or not battle war, because of the blow up box here. It's a shame that the whole board wasn't this big. You know what I mean? Of course, you wouldn't be able to reach across it if it was, but it'd be nice if we had that much space.
How's it going? I think you're making progress in Africa. Bit by bit.
With so many people thwarting your attempts on the diplomacy
You should
chart,
move on combat civilian
everything,
resistance.
there's so
Because
many
do you know
things that are still up for grabs when it comes
And
to
up there,
neutrals.
they're
Like
not do any good.
when we played a year
You need
ago,
to bring him down here
play
somewhere.
test of the game, which was much different back then. The neutrals were snapped up pretty much right away, right? But in this game where you can only do 2 per turn,
Did you do your land
and with people taking them off you, Like you move up one, they go down one. You know what I mean? It takes forever to get to the top of that chart
We
sometimes.
need to keep working on that. Though.
Anyway, so
We need to always.
what did you do? Who'd you take?
We took Western Ukraine,
Okay.
marching there, no casualties. But we did have a few casualties
$2,
here, but the troops killed them off. So
Well, that's nice. You got.
That's just
I
my.
took
You take the
casualties off.
Serbians out?
We know, yeah, we took
I also moved
the one Serbians in, but we still got the main Serbians here,
US
which hopefully will.
forces to Texas to
Which
Yeah,
one of
we-
those guys killed Franz Ferdinand?
Probably this guy right here. Who knows?
That guy?
Yeah.
That guy's an asshole. Anyway, just because of that guy, we have to fight the war to end all wars. Anyway, I'm sure they would have gone to war regardless, but. So we'll come back at start of next turn. Okay, so now we're in 1914, the spring. Let us choose 4 cards. Muslims unite. Ottomans stir up unrest among Muslims in the Caucasus. Place 1 free attacking Ottoman infantry in Transcaucasia. Resolve combat immediately as he is hopping mad over there. I like that.
At least it's only worth 1 in this game.
Hindu-German conspiracy. Germans provide a nationalist revolution in British India. Place an attacking German infantry in Punjab. Sweet. So let's pick up the 2 west ones. On to Tsargrad. Russia and Austria-Hungary roll a d6. The winner chooses one of the following. Russia accepts Greek entry into the war if promised Constantinople as a post-war prize. If Allies accept Greece enters the war on the Allied side aligned to Britain. Constantinople is marked with Russian roundel marker. If the Allies capture it, it is treated as a Russian land zone for the rest of the game. Well, that just sounds stupid. Greek waffling. Greece is undecided. Austria, Hungary, and Britain each immediately make 5 alternating diplomatic influence roles for Greece. If no major power reaches the aligned level of support, the first major power to own one of the 3 mainland Greek land territories gains Greek alignment. Either power may land unopposed in Greece to compel their alignment. So that's one. Well, that was a mouthful. British munitions shortage. Well, I like the sound of that.
I don't.
Oh, shut up. British are running dangerously short of munitions.
Haven't even
Oh.
fired anything this turn.
All British artillery is -1 attack and defense this turn. No supply markers can be purchased or used. There you go. So that's the 4 cards. And what happened this turn? The Russians. They were a bunch of assholes. They took out East Prussia up there. Oh.
And they also took out Eastern Turkey.
So the Austrians did really well. They're expanding here. Plus, they did get Bulgaria in a diplomatic role last turn. So that was good for them. The Americans are getting closer to war. The Japanese tried to attack Vladivostok up there and failed. It's really hard to attack in this game because we were just talking about that, Jinx and I, because all you really have is infantry and artillery, right? You don't have a bunch of fighters coming in. You don't have tactical bombers. You don't have, a couple panzers rolling in. There's so many offensive weapons that aren't in this game, right? So it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's just
Thing is, it takes away from it.
it's hard to attack things, and especially like I was amphibiously assaulting a mountain territory, right? So even though I had more stuff than he did, like I had twice as much as him, he knocked me back pretty easily, right? I only have 4 units left. He has 3, and yet I started with I think 7 units. So I lost 4, and he lost only a cavalry. So that sucked. It's hard, and we've been finding that everybody's been having a tough time attacking. Defenders are doing really well. So here, this is where, like, he came with overwhelming odds right here. I didn't realize that this territory was linked to this one, so he came around and anyway, my bad. Look at this fat stack here, down there. And not much going on anywhere up here, because most of this stuff is over there. It's just Russia here and Austria, and you can see what's going on there. What happened in the Caucasus there? Oh, you did get it? Transcaucasia?
Well, transportation, it was nobody was there.
Oh, so it's yours then, right on. Excellent. We like to hear that. Anyway, we'll see you next turn.
Hey guys, Panzer King here, 7 in for General Hand Grenade. You may notice that the British and German fleets have disappeared because we are doing what history did. 1915, Battle of Jutland. We have a total of 4 German dreadnoughts, 4 pre-dreadnoughts,
I think I've got it all
a
set up.
cruiser, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and a German submarine, and a coastal submarine up against 3 British dreadnoughts, 2 pre-dreadnoughts, 2 cruisers, 4 torpedo boat destroyers, a submarine, 2 transports, and a coastal submarine. So it's pretty close. I think Germany
You know what I'm
definitely
going to
has
do?
the
I'm going
edge.
to go on Maritime Air
But
Patrol here,
this is a
because then I
very
can take these out
pivotal
and
battle.
these.
So
Oh.
we'll see how.
Actually,
this
no, I
ends
don't have
up
to go
here.
on Maritime Air Patrol. I can just take them into the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
Attack
that.
at 3, hey?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. And
but
you
the
can
only
bring
thing they can
seaplanes in,
target
too.
is those, right?
Can only attack submarines and naval transports.
Yeah.
Speaking of dreadnoughts, will we wait?
Excellent.
The Austrians have the only dreadnought in the Mediterranean right now.
I was looking at this one.
And
This one can only
also,
go on Maritime Air Patrol,
I
right?
see.
They have
Right.
just commissioned their
So that's
second
it for
one.
battles?
So
Yeah, that's
the
it.
Austrians
That
have
one down there,
have
no.
2 dreadnoughts.
Okay, so-
What about Argentina? Isn't that
In the
yours, or is that
Mediterranean?
not?
And also, we're one step
Well,
away
Nicky's taking it
from
from
the
Yeah.
Ottomans'
Well, we don't want
first
to do South
dreadnought,
America,
even
come
though we have an oppressive navy.
All right, here
in
we
the
go.
Mediterranean. So let's
Britain.
get back to the Battle of Jutland and see
Britain,
how it
you're
goes.
over here. We're going for that convoy there on +1. 6. Convoy down there.
Do I get any pluses?
Nope.
I thought I did for something.
Right now, they're
Oh,
just rolling
maybe.
for
Did
a
you finish
convoy
some technology?
here off the coast. of
Depth
Africa.
charges and hydrophones. What does that mean? Escorting ships get +1 defense. All torpedo enemy submarines lose the first up. Nope. That has nothing to do with this.
And I got 5.
But it does have
And
something to
also,
do with this
fun
other battle.
fact too for you guys watching at home.
though.
The French
I've
actually
got
have
6
no
because I had the +1.
dreadnoughts on the battlefield too, as you guys may know.
2. So yeah, I can't get more than
So
3.
the only ones with
So Britain
dreadnought
loses 3 lives.
ability are all Central Powers currently, and of
So
course
let's read that
the British
again.
Empire. Even Japan doesn't have it. One exception to this rule is the United States, who has 2 dreadnoughts over here on the eastern seaboard. But on the building queue,
Okay, so let's
have
roll over
another
here,
one.
bud.
And the Japanese, it looks like, actually have one.
So
going
I
on.
think you do get to use your depth charges and hydrophones
Okay,
for
so
this
the battle's
battle.
about to begin.
Alright.
You ready?
I got preemptive shots on you. I assume.
So what you have, you've got your subs first strike, right? But with this it says all torpedo destroyers gain target selection against subs. So yeah, that's not first strike. So enemy subs lose first strike if at least one of your torpedo boat destroyers. So I don't get first strike, but you do. I've got 2 subs, you got 2 subs. Only yours get first strike because of that technology. So go ahead.
Dreadnoughts, but that's still okay. Better than nothing.
So you got 1 at 2 and 1 at 3.
Alright, so coastal,
Missed?
regular.
Missed? Okay, good. So
So the British lost their first strike.
I don't have any first strike or anything, so I've got 1 at 2. Missed. I've got 1 at 3 with the sub. Oh yeah, that's a 7. Okay, now the seaplane is at 3. Missed.
Missed.
Okay, 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 4. Dear. I gotta here. Let's get rid of these dice. Let's stupid dice. Cruiser.
Miss.
Pre-dreadnoughts. That's 7. 2 hits, finally. And 4 dreadnoughts.
8 or less.
So 2 plus
And
3,
look at
4,
that, we
5,
got
6.
hits all around. So we have a total of 6 hits.
6
for
hits
the
on you.
Germans.
Now you go ahead.
And now the British
Okay, so
4.
counterattack.
That's 3 misses. You've got 4 there though.
Yeah, we do have 4. Misses.
2 cruisers at 6. 1. 2 pre-dreadnoughts at 7. Misses. And 3 dreadnoughts at 8.
Got
So
hits all
2,
around.
3, 4. So I hit you what, 6 times?
Yes, you hit him
And
6
you
times.
hit me 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to
Now,
tip these 4.
in the game currently, if you take casualties on dreadnoughts, they do not get shot down a lower level. So that's one thing that a lot of the players are going to be doing. That's what I did in the Battle of the Mediterranean.
Might as well get
So
rid of your subs there.
do I lose the preemptive shots with these now?
Yeah, it's only the first round because now we know they're there.
I know in World War II it keeps going, but in World War One, I
Nope,
don't know if
in World War II it doesn't. Like they're only first strike on the first round of combat. Then everybody knows they're there. They're not first strike anymore on subsequent rounds. Oops, it went way under. Yeah. And 2 more.
we played it so that it's every round, so that's a change for us.
So
Yeah,
you got a
that's,
total of
that's
6
not
hits,
right.
but you took 3 on that. So isn't it just 1 torpedo? Oh, 1 on the torpedo boat? 'Cause you took 2 subs off, right?
2
So-
subs and 2 torpedo boats.
But then that's 7 hits, right? I thought you only got 6.
Yeah.
I got 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So just leave one of them. There you go.
There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because of the dreadnoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So second round.
So second round. So far it's interesting, but nothing is telling.
Oh,
right now.
wow. You hit me 4 times. Sorry. 1, 2. Oh, I took those off already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. I've been drugged.
So one thing that Bob Hatcher should think about is reducing the value after they're damaged. If they want to do that, like with 36.
Yeah, yeah. I'll write that down. So 1 at 2. That's a hit.
That's it.
And 1 at 3. That's a miss. And I got a seaplane at 3. That's a hit. Now this hit here has to go against the transports. Because that's the only thing I can target now. So
That's
take
the
one of your
seaplanes.
transports off.
Seaplanes can only
So-
hit transports.
Well, they can hit subs as
And
well,
subs
but
as well,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, so so we'll take that hit out of there now. 2 torpedo boat destroyers. 4 misses. A cruiser. Okay, that's 1 hit. There we go. And now we got 4 pre-dreadnoughts.
All missed.
All missed, yep. And 4 dreadnoughts. 1, 2.
2 hits.
So 4 on you altogether.
Not the greatest rolls for Germany.
4 on you
We'll see
altogether.
what Britain.
And you get to roll.
has
There you
to
go, yeah.
attack.
So you had
This is
4,
at-
didn't you?
This is at.
Yeah, now it's
No, you didn't.
This
That's
is
right.
at 4.
Yeah. 1, 2.
2
Good
hits.
roll.
That's a good, very good roll.
A couple cruisers.
At 6.
1 hit.
3 already.
And I need more dice.
Sure.
Good job, Ben. Keep it up. Keep the
This is at
momentum.
7. 2
2
more.
hits.
Yep.
That's great.
And then 3 dreadnoughts.
Jutland is like, what's going on with their... Wait, what's the quote?
This is at
Something's going on with their battleships.
And
One more.
One
One
just
more.
1 hit.
That's good. Whew, thank God. So 2, 4, 6.
As opposed to 4.
And you lost 4. So the opposite of what happened
last time it
time.
was 6-4, now it's 4-6.
The Battle of Jutland may actually come out to be
Okay, so
the
1,
exact
2,
same because it was a time
3,
in history,
4,
and this also could be a time
5,
as
I
well.
don't know if he could target your aircraft, though.
6.
I don't think he can target your aircraft with that.
Seaplanes can't take casualties that way.
Yeah, they can. It's a
Okay.
seaplane that can't hit
Are you
them.
sure?
But they might have to be taken last. You might be
Because
right
it might
about
just
that.
be submarines and transports could hit them if submarines could hit. If transports could hit, right? Like, just because Yeah.
No, like you can take a seaplane out with just about anything. Like if it's sitting on land, it's an auto kill, right?
Okay.
But anyway, check it out though, okay?
All right.
Now I got one more round of combat that I can do.
You want to keep going?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah. What am I gonna do? Stop?
Yep.
No. I got you on the ropes, man. So I just need what?
Doesn't say if you can take it as a hit or not. Yeah, we'll see. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We can ask later on.
Just look at seaplanes. Does
Yeah.
it say it has to be taken last in combat?
It doesn't say it lasts in combat. I was just
Then
thinking
it
like,
doesn't.
since they can only target submarines, I
Yeah,
thought perhaps only
but that's one
submarines
way
could-
around though.
Yeah.
Like submarines can't target a seaplane,
Fair,
right?
fair.
But a boat can.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Okay, so then I'll take that off. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Will you put some to replace it though?
Nope. So now I've got
Okay, that was
4 and 4. So the 4 greens are the free dreads. The 4 blacks are the dreads.
Okay, so rolling them all right here.
So 7s and 8s. 1. Damn. 2, 3. Shit.
Only 3
Nice.
hits.
Survived.
Very
His
unfortunate
dreadnought
rolls.
survived.
Got one cruiser.
What at
12s and
6?
11s.
Yes.
2 at 7.
This is round 3, so
Yeah.
that concludes here.
It's
2 hits and 3 dreads.
Ben, you're equal with him now. Your fleet is getting just as good as it gets.
And
1 hit.
One
Well,
hit,
thank
yeah.
goodness. So what? 4 altogether? Is that right?
2 against him, 3 against you.
3
Right?
hits on me.
That's the way I counted it.
yeah, so 3 and 4. So basically everybody saves their dreadnoughts, but they're all damaged.
Right,
so
Ben? You had 3 hits?
it's a very equal hit. And
Okay, so-
I think Britain saved the 1 transport.
So now I have to.
Anyways,
retreat
guys,
over here.
interesting battle.
I
It's
need,
pretty much a tie, if you can say, but maybe Germany can't recover from that. I think Germany had a
Put these down
few
like this.
unlucky rolls with the numbers they had against them or with them. So, anyways, I'll leave you guys with that to ponder, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, we're gonna cut it off after this round, but I'm gonna take off now because I'm finished with the Germans and the Japanese. So I'll just make a final video and put this one out, and we'll start a whole new one tomorrow. So I'll show you something that happened here. Now, the Philippines was suffered a revolt. The Philippine people revolted against the Americans, and they were successful in that. So what happens is anybody can take that territory without any penalty. So the Japanese decided, well, I can't take Vladivostok because the Russians are too tough. So they came down here and took this one here. So anyway, they got an extra $2 on their income. Like here, this was a revolt. That's why the Germans have a guy there, right? That was from one of the cards. And so now the British are starting to take India a little bit more seriously because there's a threat from the Japanese now. So they had moved just about everything out of there. Now they're going to have to move some things back. But they're very strong over here. In Africa, they got quite a sizable navy. The canal is really well defended, and they're doing well in South Africa. Italy still isn't in it yet. Austria just placed another dreadnought there, so it's going to be tough to take them out now. And plus, you see there where the Austrian Navy is there. It's actually a strait in this game to get into there. It's the Taranto Strait. So I think you have to probably own Taranto in order to get into that spot there. So that's something they'd have to do before they could attack that. This subs here is just giving them fits on this line down here. But this is the first time these guys have played these convoy rules, so it's hard to do it. And quite frankly, it must be harder. I haven't even tried it yet doing it without aircraft carriers, because I mean that's really how you hunt them down in 36. But if they start building some seaplanes, then they might have a bit more luck with that. Although they don't have to worry too much because that's the only sub I have on the board. The other ones that I had were taken out in that naval battle up there. I'm not sad about how that ended, even though he took one more boat off me than I took off of him, because there was just too much navy up here. You know what I mean? Needed to thin it out. It just makes it look better. I'm happy that I've still got 4 dreadnoughts and a pre-dreadnought left. Like now all I gotta do is buy some small boats and then I've got a navy again. Whereas that overwhelmingly huge navy that he had is cut down a lot. Like he's still got a lot of boats because they're the British and they were the dominant navy in the world up until the end of this war, right? And also he's building more, right? So he's going to be back up there in no time, but it did set him back a bit, right? And so I'm happy about that. If nothing else, then I probably kept the Ottoman Navy and the Austrian Navy alive a little bit longer by doing that. Otherwise, he could have just taken even half of that Navy down from the British Isles and wiped them out. This stack of cash that you see in there, that's Lend-Lease cash that they got from 2 different people, I believe. The Eastern Front didn't change much in here since the last time I showed you. One thing we've discovered here is that there's no air bases. There's airship bases. Like I thought that was an air base. Panzer King had put that one on when we set up, so I thought that we had an air base, but there's no such thing as air bases in this game. Really, all they used was fields, right? They just barely invented aircraft, and you know, like they didn't even have guns on their aircraft at this point. Right now, we're still using 1914 or 15 fighters. What are we on here?
1914.
Yeah, so the fighters don't upgrade until 1916. We've still got to go through a ways yet before the fighters, a couple more turns before the fighters are upgraded to do more than just observe. Right now, they're no better than these balloons here. All they do is kick up artillery paired 1-to-1 with an artillery, right? So they're next to useless until it's time to upgrade them, and then they'll do something more. Here, I'll just show you once. Let me just grab this thing. Okay, so in 1916, they'll have attack of 2 and defense of 2. They'll do the observation like before. They'll move 2 like before, but they'll be able to dogfight. So it'll be like fighters in the 36 game, where if there's planes on both sides and one of them's a fighter, then he targets that plane in the first round, right? And so in that way, they're like fighters. So, and then in 1917, they attack and defend at 3, and they got the dog fighting and everything. And but you can also add ground strike to that. There's no ground strike. They're just strictly dog fighting in 1916. So ground strike, and then interception as well. So they can accompany strategic bombers or airships or zeppelins, right? And they move 3 at that point. And then in 1919, they attack and defend at 5. And then they have naval strike. That's added on. Aside from the other things, they'll be able to attack boats at that point. So right now, fighters aren't that great. But what you'll have to do, though, is if you want to, say like I've got 3 fighters here, when that turn comes around, when 1916 comes around, I will either have to pay $2 a fighter, or I have to take them off the board, because there's no distinction. Like they don't have different sculpts for different fighters, right? So you either pay to upgrade them or you lose them, and then you have to build them from scratch. So you might as well pay to upgrade them. Otherwise, you just lose what you have, right? And
Is that your neighbor again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just looking around, see if there's anything else. Anything else that's different?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Let's go take a look at.
That's close.
Let's take a look at this for a second. So we're putting the income up here because this is just really, really small. Like it's hard to tell on camera, but it's tiny compared to this one, right? You gotta move back. So there's more room for these things. But we're using the calendar down here, and we're using the spaces up here to count the things. I'm sure that it'll be much bigger. It'll be the size of those other ones. So let's just take a. We're finding that hardly any diplomacy is getting finished in this game, because people keep knocking you back. Like you move up to here and then somebody takes you back. You know what I mean? So it's constantly up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, right? Even though we've had all kinds of chances, like tons of diplomacy rolls, people are just having a tough time finishing their diplomacy. But you know, we don't mind that. It'd be tough if it was just one side that were getting diplomacy finished and the other side wasn't. So it's not so bad, but it's still a really cool way of doing it, right? We're really happy with the diplomacy in this game. Anyway, so I'm going to cut it off here. So from the Lion's Den in Prince George, British Columbia, thanks for joining us on day one of the War to End All Wars, and we'll see you tomorrow.